Okay. I'm gonna try to not get off topic because it's really easy for me to do that. But um, I want to talk about this whole victim mentality. Like, I'm having troubles with my sister. It's no big deal. My sister and I, we don't see eye to eye. She's on a different part of her journey than I am. It's no big deal. Like, I understand that I have come to terms with everything that's been done to me on a different level, made peace with kind of level, where I'm not mad at anybody, but I can take the facts of my history and all of the things that I've been through and all of the feelings that I've experienced, and I can transfer them to the blame that they require, which is me. I was hurt by my sister's actions when my father died. It's not, it is. Sure, I allowed myself to be hurt, and sure, she allowed her pain to let her do something that translated to me feeling pain. But I'm not a victim. To let go and let God, to go seek a therapist, to do all of these things that everyone else thinks that I need to do, requires me to believe that I am a victim, but I don't. Everything that has ever happened to me in my life has contributed to who I am today. It has made me stronger, braver, wiser, and better me. Not because I laid blame on somebody else's shoulders, and not because I laid blame on my own shoulders, but because I was easily able to forgive them, to remind myself that somewhere down the line, they didn't learn that that was right or wrong. Somewhere down the line, they just didn't know. It's easy for me to do that. With my sister, I know somewhere down the line. I know the progression of her life. I know how every person in her position ends up with the same trauma that she has. I know how every person that has ever made a choice as difficult as she has ends up with the same trauma that she has. And by doing that, I can't look at my sister and see her trauma as an excuse. I can't let her use that to lay blame on me for feeling hurt. I've laid enough blame on me and I'm over it. It triggers something in me. What it triggers in me is pretty simple. I have autism. When I was younger, we had to clean the house. The house didn't get cleaned, we got in trouble. If I cleaned my third, but the house didn't get cleaned, we got in trouble. I had to clean the entire house to not get in trouble, period. The house had to be cleaned to not get in trouble. But they wouldn't clean right away. They wanted to wait. Now, sure, there's a part of me that's not getting over this, but the reason there's a part of me that's not getting over this, and the reason it correlates to the death of my father, is because they waited 3 months of my mother paying the rent on this piece of property where nobody even went to look at it. And my mother was running out of money. I live with her, so that is part of me. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited to see if somebody else was going to man up and help mom, and nobody did. So I did. And then the minute that I did, and I was upset because nobody else did, everybody said, well, you should have told me. Wait, I didn't have to tell you that our dad died. I didn't have to tell you that somebody had to pay the rent. I didn't have to tell you it was 3 months ago. But somehow I had to tell you that now is just as good a time as then to clean that house out so our mother doesn't have to pay any more rent. No, I don't think I'm standing on the wrong in that. And no, I don't believe that it requires the kind of forgiveness that everybody else thinks. Why doesn't it require the same kind of forgiveness? Because it is a repeat behavior. If something is left long enough, they know I will take care of it. They don't worry about my mother because they know I will take care of it. They worry about themselves. They worry nothing about anybody else because they know I will take care of it. And that is no excuse to shirk your responsibility and leave it all on your baby sister. I'm the little one with autism. And I'm the one that does all the back-breaking work, and I can't even get acknowledgement that it might not have been right what you did, but you still did do it. I manned up, I got shit done. I'm going to man up and I'm going to get shit done. When you leave a diaper in my house on the floor 3 feet from the trash where you could have put it away, and 8 hours later you come home, I'm going to be triggered because that's what you've done to me all of your life. You don't get to decide that because your trigger is your entire past, that my trigger, which is one diaper, is worse. No. My trigger collects bugs. Your trigger is everything that has ever happened to you. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's healthy. And you can blame me and consider me unhealthy. Everybody can. But that isn't healthy. What is healthy is to address the issues of your past on a level that allows you to do it without getting mad. I didn't get mad at my sister because she didn't help me when my dad was alive. I got mad at her because I told her that the diaper triggered my problems, and she said, well, you should have handled it differently. I'm sorry, I handled it perfectly fine. I don't know what your problem is because I didn't call you up mad at you for leaving a diaper like you would have. I don't think that's fair, but it's perfectly acceptable because she can only predict my emotional responses based on the emotional response that she would have in my shoes. My emotional responses are healthy. Her emotional responses are not. So when she looks at me and she assumes that I'm being mad at her, that I'm pointing a finger, or that I'm accusing her of something, it is not because I'm accusing her of something. It's because if she were to say the same things to me, it would be an accusation. That's not my fault. You can't express things that have happened to you in your life that have been bad and not good for you in a positive way because you can't let go of things, and because you only see people's responses for the negative, toxic response that you would have if you were in their shoes. Really, that just makes me feel sorry for you. So anybody who thinks that I'm standing over here and I'm creating a toxic environment for my sister to, live her trauma again, think again. I don't bring up my past because I need a resolution. I bring up my past because I no longer need a resolution. And there is a difference. It's not one that you might recognize because it might not be something that you can do. For me, it's easy. For other people, it's not. Don't think that I don't understand that. But understanding that doesn't mean that I have to act in a toxic way to adjust for your toxicity. You can't ask that. I will not give that. I'm not a victim. To be a victim, to have the victim mentality, is to say, you hurt me, it's your fault. I don't say that. I say, your actions hurt. I don't want to have it happen again. Let's do something different. That's what I say. If that is so unhealthy that I must be the toxic person, then the world has flipped their idea of what toxicity is. Because that's not toxic. That's the path to healing. That's the path to understanding that it is okay to accidentally hurt somebody because you were in the middle of something that you couldn't control. It is okay to say, my bad, I didn't mean it. And it is okay to do it, not in, I said I'm sorry, because that doesn't fucking fix anything. The way that you do it is in understanding that those are details that have happened to you or that you have done, and that's it. That's it. You have the emotional attachment that stirs the emotional response that triggers in yourself an idea of inferiority or of pain and suffering. Those feelings are within you just as much as my pain was within me. Just as much as my feeling unimportant and irrelevant is in me. Nobody makes me feel those ways. And sure, they can reassure me to not feel them myself. But I feel that. I don't have to have somebody make me feel it. Those feelings come from me. To be irrelevant comes from me and my worst fear. So I'm over here telling you, I have to battle being irrelevant my entire life. It's my worst fear. Now, I'm not perfectly healthy. I've got 2 people who are unhealthy ganging up on me and using my worst fear. And y'all expect me to be completely 100% calm and healthy while nobody is listening to the actual words that are coming out of my mouth? Damn. You don't think I'm human, do you? See, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all speak out of turn. We all say things when we don't really know. And it's not about whether or not you have said them, done them. That's not the issue. None of those things are the issue. The issue is whether you can come back and say, whoa, I didn't expect that. That was an unexpected and unwelcome result of my actions. And I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I mean, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings goes a lot longer and farther with somebody you have hurt than, well, I was in pain. Well, that's no excuse. That's no reason. There's no justification. It happened. You can't justify the past. You make amends for the past. If you can't allow yourself to understand that you have made a mistake and allow yourself to embrace the fact that you're not perfect without just using the words, because you can tell me you're not perfect all day long. It means nothing if you continue to act like you can't embrace the mistakes that you've made when you weren't being perfect. I mean, what kind of perfection is that? The true perfection is understanding that mistakes can be made, and the person who has made a bad mistake can still be a good person with good intentions, and they could have done it without meaning to hurt you. That's it. They could have done it without meaning to hurt you. Now, does that mean that they didn't hurt you? No. Does that mean it didn't happen? No. But it means that you don't have to feel guilt because they hurt you on purpose. And it means that they don't have to feel guilt because the hurt that they caused was essentially on purpose. You don't have to feel the guilt. I don't blame her for making the best choice she could in the condition that she was in, under the circumstances that she put herself in. I don't blame her. But telling me that you can't handle it is no excuse for not allowing me to speak of my past in a healthy way when I speak of my past in a healthy way every single day in your absence. I give credit where credit is due. I don't think that every bad thing that has ever been done to me was with malicious intent. I know that the details are more complicated than that, and that there are variables that are included that you can't always remember or think about. So it's not about what happens in the moment. It's about how you handle it when you remember it. And I promise you that if you can't remember how you hurt somebody without feeling remorse in a calm and understandably forgiven way, you haven't healed from it. Not your actions, not the things that have been done to you. Because to truly heal from it is to no longer feel the negative emotions attached to it. I hope everybody that sees this understands that we are in this life together, not to compare our differences to somebody else's. They're smarter than me. They're stronger than me. They do better than me. They do this. They do that. They do this. They don't. They are stronger at what they want to be stronger at. For some of us, like me, it's research. It's learning. It's understanding the dynamics of something beyond that which is easily seen. It's picking apart the details of a situation and giving people the kindness and credit they deserve. Sure, you get the kindness, but you can't deny the results of your actions. That's all that really matters. That's all I'm really saying to everybody. If you've hurt somebody, and every time they tell you that you've hurt them, you get mad at them, I'm sorry, but you hurt them. Can't fix it. You can't change it. Can't go away. Make amends. Or deal with it and allow them to speak their hurt. Because they have that right just as much as you have a right to deny it. Violence makes you look like an idiot. Okay? Pushing your opinion onto somebody and shutting their opinion down when all they have is love and healing for you, that doesn't make them toxic. That makes you in a state of confusion. That makes you in a constant battle within yourself for blaming yourself and believing you're not good enough. That's yours. That's not mine. I'm good enough. I'm great. I'm amazing. I'm one of thousands, billions, whatever sperm that reached an egg that made it to me so that I could see the world from the third person perspective and the first person perspective and the other perspectives that I see, so that I could calculate all of that stuff, so that I could do what I do best, which is seek first to understand. I promise you, any wrong that you have ever done to me, I have given you all the credit that you need. I have given you all the patience and love that you require. I have offered up every possible excuse that would make it right. And I will maintain that. But there are a couple things that do not meet that standard. I can't help it. Leaving trash in my house when I'm trying to clean my house, that's going to be one of them. Because it's considered disrespect. Where you don't think that my feelings are valid because you think your feelings are more important. And that's like telling me that I don't even know myself. Well, I've spent 46 years in a family of toxic people who have completely demolished my self-esteem. And I still love them, and I still try to embrace them while maintaining presence in their toxicity. Because I understand that the world is more complicated than that. And I understand that their narcissism and their toxicity comes from someplace else. My mom did not give birth to my sister broken. She gave birth to my sister a confident, dominant, beautiful, bold woman. And somewhere along the way, some moron, albeit my father, used his words to convince her that she was nothing. That poor child, for her entire life, has thought that she was nothing, when she is, in fact, everything. And he only said that to her because he himself felt as if he was nothing. And she reminded him that he wasn't what he wanted himself to be. Why? Because that happened to him. And that happened to his father, and it happened to his mother, and it happened to everybody along the line in his family up until the point of him. But my father was neither strong enough to break the curse, nor did he have the desire to learn enough information to break the chain of abuse. I did. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect, because I broke my kids in different ways. But I did not break them in the same way that my parents broke me. Because I know that my parents did the best that they could, just as I did the best that I could. And my children will do the best that they can with my grandchildren. And the only thing that we have, the only hope this entire world has, is for that each of us who are the victim to remember the victim is a mentality. You are not a victim. You are a survivor, a recovery expert. You are amazing. You are brilliant. You are wonderful. You are here for a purpose. You have potential. You have greatness. You are everything. And anybody who tells you that you're not can be speaking to the wind, because we all are. I love you guys.